But your sweet spot, that is the inner work, okay? That's the inner work. And, you heard me talk about those different passion projects I did, the Joyful Business Guide, the Business Goddess's Guide to Sales Pages, Creative Business Studio. I didn't go out into the world and say, okay, what does everybody need, and I'm going to make myself do that. Okay, that's the way I learned it when I went to business school, okay, back in the 80s. For us women entrepreneurs, when you are driven by passion, fueled by passion, it's not going to work, okay? You'll get burned out or you'll never do it, I promise. I've seen it over and over again. So you want to start with yourself. You want to start with aligning with your own energies and look at what drives you internally and then go out and say, okay, how can I help people in the world? I'm just going to go quickly through some of this, and you can spend more time with it. This is one you're always going to be adding to. But you can write down some notes, right? And this is your chance to be creative. There's no rules with this. You don't have to do it linear. You can use markers. You can use crayons. You can, however you want to do that. I love to do it with markers. Write down notes about your vision and your dreams. Okay, what is it that if you could be doing anything? That question that I asked myself on my creative power sabbatical. If you could be doing anything, what would you be doing? All right, and there's no rules to it. So it might be I would be snow skiing, and what does that have to do with that I help people write books? Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't edit it. Okay, just capture it for right now. It might have nothing to do with other than when you put out a passion project, it'll help fund you being able to pay for going snow skiing. But who knows? Maybe your passion project will be where you blend it together and you'll end up offering creative retreats somewhere where there's snow and you can go snow skiing. All right? So I'd love to think about how you might blend these together. But in order to do that, don't edit. Okay? So write down notes about your vision, about your dreams. If you could be doing anything, what would that be? And then look at your experiences. Just make notes. This is sort of right off the top of your mind. You don't need to edit. What kind of experiences do you have? Personal experiences and professional experiences. I used to be a corporate marketing VP of marketing. I've done Santa arrivals, Santa parades. I've done $1 million grand openings. I have 2 busy boys who go to soccer tournaments all weekends and on holidays. Don't edit how you think they're all going to come together. You'll start seeing the patterns as you go through it. Look at your different experiences. What kinds of things have you been doing in your business? What kinds of things did you do before this business? What I noticed is a lot of women, we get into our business as a coach or a consultant or a teacher, a mentor, and whatever it is now, and somehow we leave behind all these other great strengths and experiences we have. You actually get to bring all that with you. All right? If you're a great organizer, bring that. I have a client who was a former CPA, and she's a Dream Warrior coach, but she still brings in that piece about the financial piece, because part of being a Dream Warrior is you have to be able to fund your dreams. And she really, brings out that piece around money, so you don't have to leave it behind. Make notes about the next one, your style, your personality. What is different about you or quirky about you? Or what are the things, it's usually those messages that you've always heard all throughout your life. Oh, you're so stylish. Oh, you're so down to earth. You're so calm. I was here. You're so calm. You're gregarious. You're outgoing. You're funny. You're quirky. You're eccentric. You're loud. You're beautiful. You're, whatever those different pieces of your style and personality. Okay? You're so nice. My whole high school yearbook's filled with, you're so nice. I put that down and claim it, because part of that being nice is I'm honest, I'm trustworthy. So you want to put those pieces of your brand together. And so when you are putting down adjectives and things where you're claiming your style and your personality, they really do become part of your personal brand, whether you're aware of them or not. So you might as well claim them, because they're the things that actually make you stand out. So if you're kind of quirky, or you're eccentric, or you laugh really loud, or you tell funny jokes, or you're really intellectual and you like the more intellectual conversation, that should become part of your brand and how you write on your blog or represented in the pictures that you take or the videos that you do. And it'll make it more fun for you, and I promise you it'll be more engaging. You will cut through the clutter, and people will pay more attention when you're totally that authentic you. All right, your strengths. What kind of strengths do you have? Lots of times you get compliments on your strengths. People say, oh, you're so organized. Oh, you get a lot done. Oh, you're so creative. Oh, you're a risk taker. Or your strengths might be you're really good at numbers, or you're really good at singing. You're really good, I'm really good at lots of ideas. Some of them might be strengths that you learned, and maybe you don't want to be doing that full time, I mean, I'm pretty good with numbers. It's not something I want to be doing full time, but gosh, it really is helpful in a business. So I can still claim it as a strength, and yet, I don't have to rep it. That's one where I'm more likely to blend into something like the program I have about Take Back Your Financial Power. I don't want to be the financial power coach, but it's a good product to support my client. Your ideal client. Really looking at your ideal client, write down some adjectives to describe who she or he is, or if it's a team or organization, and write down some of the qualities to describe them. Maybe they're really open, maybe they're curious, maybe they're creative, maybe they're very professional, maybe they're financially oriented. You'll also find that a lot of their qualities will probably mirror your qualities, because we tend to be able to help people that are like ourselves because we're on similar journeys. And hopefully you're writing down a few notes. You're going to want to do this even more. All right, the last area is your passion and purpose. What are your passions? Just jot down whatever comes to mind, all right? Again, don't edit, all right? This is not the place for editing. This is the place for just dumping them out. And you can look all around you. You can probably see your passions around you. You probably see knickknacks sitting on your desk that represent your passions, or photos that represent your passions. Maybe you like to travel to certain places. Maybe you don't like to travel. Maybe you are passionate about the farm. I know Regina's on our call. She's passionate about walking and the Appalachian Trail and beyond. What are your passions? Look at your books. You could just take a look at my bookshelves and you can tell, well, I'm passionate about books. I'm passionate about spirituality, about creativity, about business, about marketing, about women. You can see right there what all your passions are. What magazines do you buy? That'll tell you about your passions. And then this is just a great place to, keep capturing them, because more things will come to you. You'll be in the shower and you'll think of something else, or you'll be driving and you'll think of new things. Listen for the compliments. Listen for what other people say about you. And then that joy spot in the middle is, what if you could blend, you could combine some of these together into a project? Like, what might that look like? What if you could blend your passion for women and creativity and business, like I do with the Creative Business Studio? What if you could blend your passion for getting women out into the wild and getting them to hike, take small hikes, or prepare for the long 7,000-mile, 2,000-mile journey? What if you could blend some of those passions together? And right now you're just capturing ideas. And what we're doing is we're just kind of stimulating or priming the pump is what I like to say. I want you to get reconnected to what's amazing about you. Just what are the really great stuff about you? All right, let me just check in. And what kinds of things are coming up as you're filling out this sweet spot?
The thing that comes up for me is that I have a lot of passions.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my problem, that I've got a lot of passions that I could possibly do things with, and I don't know where to start, nor do I feel like I've got the expertise. I might be a master in some of those to a certain point, but I don't feel that I have the expertise in one particular thing. It's so generic that I don't feel that I can, like when you talked earlier about really being unique in the field, like when you were in the very beginning of the call.
Right. It's great. It's a great question. A couple of things. The next tool that we're going to go to will help with that, with kind of capturing all the ideas, because that's what I find is if you're passion-based, you usually have lots of passions. And so sometimes, like me, it can be hard to say, well, gosh, which ones? I'm going to give you some clues when we go to that one, so it'll answer your question. As far as the expertise, being an expert, here's what I want you to remember, is that nobody else in this world has your particular blend. There is nobody who has it like you do. You do not have to be the end-all, be-all expert in one area, okay? You can be the person who has expertise in this one area and blends it with expertise in another area and helps a certain type of person, and nobody else can do it quite like that. It's funny because I was just having this conversation with my son, who's 15, he's in 10th grade, and he came to me almost with the same thing, and I think he's getting so much pressure, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Especially for men. I didn't realize this, but what do you want to be when you grow up? How are you going to support yourself? What are you going to do? What are you going to be? What college are you going to go to? And he's like, Mom, I'm really good at a lot of stuff. He's like, but I'm not a master at any one thing. He's like 15, right? My heart goes out. And, so I told him, this is my story of like Taylor Swift. I use her as an example, right? She is hugely popular, successful singer, right? But she is not like a masterful singer. I mean, when you look at like American Idol and some of the top winners who are on there, they are like masterful singers, like you're in the room with, oh my gosh, somebody who's probably one of the best singers in the world. Taylor Swift is kind of a good singer. She's not the best guitar player, like she probably hasn't won awards for her guitar playing, and then she has the songwriting ability, right? But what she did was blended that together, these quirky songs that spoke real words and real examples for teenage girls with her, good singing, good guitar, ability to perform, and blended that together and then put herself out there, and then you see what's happened. So if you can just kind of hold that as an example, like what if I could blend these things together and nobody else can offer it as unique as I can?
Right.
Does that give you somewhere to look?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.